Welcome. My name is Jonathan Wilson, head coach here at the Center for Coaching Leadership. Today, the fallacy of productivity. So much for you coming up on productivity, but I want to get to the heart of the matter today. There is a big misunderstanding when you look at this through the coaching lens that many of us make mistakes with. So that is today. We're talking about the fallacy of productivity. Oh, look at that. There's old Adam Smith from his time, 1776. He wrote the book, The Wealth of Nations. Don't know if you ever read that, but if you did, you would come across a way that he discussed productivity, which was talking about specialization. All right, talking about, imagine like the auto factory, the moving assembly line, where you have different people at different stations assembling their piece of the overall car because they specialize in one particular area. Because the labor of building a car has been divided, they can build that car much faster. And so as Adam Smith was talking about productivity, his reference was output in relationship to input, which is good. We're going to come back to this in a little bit. Here's how the folks, the leaders I've worked with, the thousands of leaders I've worked with over the years talk about productivity, which is not necessarily division of labor, but more like division of time, which is output per unit of time, a day, a week, a month, a year. So there's a key difference here that we'll come back to in a little bit. Let me share with you the fallacy, the misunderstanding, which is that many of us believe we need to be similarly efficient in all things. Like if I had to boil down what I hear from leaders over the last several years, and both here in the United States and in Canada, okay, like what's the issue when you talk about productivity? Like what the belief is that I need an approach that helps me handle all of these things that are incoming, right? Email and projects and my team and customers and all those things that go along with modern work. Like if I just work faster, I'll be able to do more. So we want to be sort of efficient in getting things done. We're going to find and use all these tools, right? ChatGPT, right? And we're going to use email and we're going to use Zoom and we're going to use Teams and Smartsheets and all of the other tools in an effort to boost our efficiency, to do more per unit of time. What I think we are chasing, both myself and the people that I've worked with, is a feeling. It's a feeling, and maybe you've had this feeling like, today I crushed it, I got a lot done. Right? Don't you love that feeling when you feel like you got a lot done during the day? And there's a little trick to that, which is it's usually not like just a sheer number of things. Usually the productivity feeling is like I got some meaningful things done throughout the day. Maybe we wrapped up a project. Maybe you did something that you've been putting off for a little while. Something meaningful in the things that you got done. And at the end of the day, you get that feeling, right? Like you crushed it. But there's something else that I've been hearing about for years and years and years. Maybe you've been hearing about it too, which is, hey, I feel like I've got to keep doing more with less. And in fact, one place that I worked all those years ago, that was like the mantra, which is we really need to do more with less. And that's nice, right? That's nice. A nice equation there. Now, if you run it to its logical extension, if you go all the way down to the end, what this saying is do everything with nothing. And I don't know if you've tried that, but it doesn't work maybe as well as we'd like it to, right? So doing more with less is we have this sort of feeling like I got to keep pumping out, I got to do more per hour, more and more efficiency. And I want to put a frame around this here for a second. We talked last time about the difference between leadership and management. And among the differences I would offer to you is maybe a key difference, which is they're both behaviors, right? Behavior, but one is about inspiring action, right? And the other one is also behavior, which is good, but more behavior that compels action. So one is you inspired to act. One is I gotta do something because I'm getting some static, right? I'm getting some heat here. I gotta comply. And one of the things, I don't know if we mentioned it or not last time, but down here in this management behavior, as we are compelling action, we're usually compelling the minimum action. And up here in the inspiration, that's where we get all the good stuff. That's where the engagement comes in. That little bit of discretionary effort that we don't have to bring to the job, but we choose to. So you're going to be productive, okay? This is coming back to the fallacy here. You're going to get productive. You're going to do some productivity behavior. Try to do more things per unit of time, right? Just work a lot faster. Use those tools. Become ever more efficient. But oftentimes what happens is our approach to efficiency, like I'm going to multitask. That's how I'm going to become more efficient. So I'm going to do some email. Go ahead and talk to me. No, really, I'm listening and I'm going to do email at the same time, right? Or I'm in the meeting and I'm going to text people or do email, right, and listen to the meeting, right? And that doesn't, I don't know if you've tried it doesn't work. Actually, there's science around that. You can't do two cognitive tasks at the same time. Now, you can walk and chew gum, all right? But you can't do email and listen to the conference call. It just doesn't work, all right? Maybe you've tried it. I don't know. So what else? What about getting to the bullet points? Okay, I'd be more efficient when somebody comes and darkens my doorway or we have that meeting. We're going to get right to the point, and then we're going to leave, right? Just a couple of minutes, and then we'll get out the door, which is an approach, right? Maybe your firm or your company still calls you a resource, right? Well, that resource over there, I don't know. I don't know if that inspires action. What else, right? What if we had productivity, because these are both behaviors, right, that create the feeling in the other. What if we had these behaviors where the other person felt like they had our attention? Here's the deal. Let me just side note here for a second. What people want is attention. Like full stop. That's whether you work with them or they're your family, they are looking for your attention, a certain quality of attention, which is undistracted attention. Hard to do, especially, and maintain that level of efficiency. Maybe there's productivity behavior here that inspires is building the relationship or being treated with dignity and respect. Now, here's where I'm going with this. Here's the whole thing, which is often the case, many times the case, is that our approach to productivity, okay, our approach to productivity may be working against a larger leadership intention. We might be undermining ourselves in our approach to productivity. Right? How could this happen? We have so much to do. So let me correct, if I may be so bold, let me correct the fallacy, okay? And then we'll get to like the what do you do part about this, right? Okay, so here's my correction. So I'm going to just do one little thing here. Be similarly efficient in all things, right? So we're trying to get stuff done per unit of time. We're just going to, whether it's a person or an email or a project or a task or eating lunch or whatever it is, we're going to be similarly efficient. We're going to work with some sort. What if we just get rid of this word here? Similarly. And now we talk about being efficient in all things. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Jonathan, there's no there, right? There's no like that's basically the same thing, right? Maybe not though. Let me Let me give this a go here and see if we can make sure I can illuminate the difference. Okay, so imagine we're talking about similarly efficient all things. So let's just put it on a little sort of graph here. This gets a little nerdy, but that's okay because I know you are in it to win it here. So along this axis is time. Okay, 1 week, 2 months, 3 years, whatever. This is just a scale of time. And up here, going to 10, whatever 10 means, is productivity. Okay, this is you doing things. This is you like getting a lot done and you not getting anything done, right? That's the two sort of lines here that we're working with. Now, here's what sort of reality looks like when we are being productive is you have some level of productivity. Maybe you're like right here, okay? Which is great. You're really productive. Then you find a new tool or a new process or a new thing and you get a little bit more productive and you're like productive for a while and then, I burned out. So we're less productive for a while. Then we try something else and it's like, oh, that works. Get a little more productive. You kind of see how this works here? Kind of do this, maybe we're up here, down here, and it sort of goes on. I would argue, I don't have any data or science-backed stuff, I'd argue we're probably similarly productive over time. Maybe there's some structural changes that we get with the tools, but just work with me here, right? It's just for illustration purposes. So this is sort of our productivity, and we're always trying to make it go up, right? We're going to work more hours, or we're going to use an AI, and that's going to do it. Now, there's another sort of look here, or another way to think about it maybe. Let's say that you're here, you're the coaching leader, and you're like, well, I've got all these people. What do I do with them, right? They're just another task for me to handle. What if instead we said, I'm going to make an investment in these people. So here's our level of productivity. I'm going to make an investment, which is time. It's attention. Would be the things that we are investing. Maybe it's money, right? But usually we're talking about time and other things. Okay, so I'm going to make an investment. So I'm going to dip down. I'm not going to be able to do as much as I could normally do. I'm going to dip down. But what I'm hoping for is this. So here we have this. This is you, right? And this is the other curve here, which is you really activating that team to provide their highest contribution. Now here's the thing. When we're talking about efficiency, we forget about this time horizon. I mean, we talk about like output per time, but we don't really capture in our mind the ROI of the time we're going to invest, how much we actually get back in terms of productivity. It's hard to see sometimes. So we've got all this area here, right, where we are making investments in time, because we could do more, but we're not. We're spending some time with the team. But then we're hoping to get somewhere right about here, which is everybody all together is doing what I could do when I was at max speed. And then ultimately we're looking for this level of improvement up here. Okay, so I know it's a little nerdy, right? But all right, it's going somewhere. Okay. So what's the takeaway here? And just get to the goods, right, John? I love graphs. I love doing the graphing thing. It's part of my economics undergrad. I did an undergrad in economics with graphs for everything. And it's just, I don't know, I could always think with a graph just a little bit easier. Okay, all right, back to it here. Core takeaway here. If you want to do more with less, if that's a mantra in your organization, and it might be, really what it's about is contributing at a higher level as a team, not at the individual level. That's one of the big mistakes here. Okay, so we talked about the core being similarly efficient in all things. Really what we're looking to do is be efficient in all things, and that means we need to make a different different decisions about how we spend our time. So higher levels of teams, number one. And that second point is we're going to be investing more time in certain inputs. And what do we mean by? We mean people, right? To optimize that output. That's us working together. So we have a team. When we fully activate that team, the idea is we could do way more as a group than we could any one individual could do on their own. Yes. But so efficiency becomes not what you do on any given day. It's about what you all can do together over different time horizons. That's the thing, right? The time horizon is the thing. So what I'm looking for when I'm coaching my team, this part is fine, the investment. This is where we are investing, okay? And we're not getting our return. So here's invest. We're still investing out here, but out here, this is where all the return is, right? This is the ROI. This is the way more than we could do individually, right? In fact, our overall level of productivity might come down comfortably because we have such an effective group of people working on this thing. Okay. All right. Very good. So what's the so what of this for you? Here's the thing, and if you come to the one-day coaching leader workshop, you're going to hear me say this probably more than once. In fact, if you watch these videos, you'll hear me say it more than once, which is be really efficient with tasks, okay? Be really efficient with tasks. I believe in that. Use the AI, use the tools that you have to be really efficient with tasks, okay? But I want to encourage you to perhaps be inefficient with people. And what we're talking about here is time. It's time. Even though you're hiring really smart people, you are, right? Educated and trained and experienced and thoughtful and willing to work hard, which is fantastic. We still have an investment we need to make with them every single day to get the ROI that we're looking for. They are not a task to be managed. They are a person to be led. Key difference there. Key difference. So here's the work for you. Okay? I would encourage you to think about capturing the time spent on tasks to your time invested in people, and then ask yourself the question, is this right considering my and the firm, the organization's long-term goals? Okay? And here's how you do it. Easy, easy, okay? We're going to draw a pie, and what you're going to do is fill out the difference between the two, right? If it's half and half, all right, I got half of my time. Yes, I really feel like I'm investing, and the other half of my time, I feel like I'm more spending time. It's not about right and wrong, okay? Time spent is not bad. And that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is level of investment. Are we making the right thing? Time spent, this is tasks. Time invested, this is people. All right? This is people. And so what does this ratio look like for you, right? Maybe it's, you got it, and you're sort of in that, well, I only invest about 25%. And the rest of it is time spent. Is that right? Is that right for you? Considering your long-term goals, considering your organization's long-term goals. Okay, if it is, great. If not, maybe there's a change that we need to make. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. Be efficient with tasks. Firm believer in that. Please do it. It's really important. Be inefficient with people. Make that investment so that you can get that long-term ROI. I hope this has been helpful for you, and we'll see you in the next one.